What the haters talking about?
What's up, family? This is the story of Kermit Warren, a hard-working grandfather and a deacon in his church in the lower Ninth Ward area of New Orleans. Kermit managed to save just over $30,000 over 30 years, thanks to his dogged work ethic, frugal lifestyle, savings, and a small inheritance. This man lost his house in Hurricane Katrina. He rebuilt. He helped to rebuild his community. He lost his job and he started selling scrap metal. He and his son started a little small enterprise. They started hauling off scrap metal. One day he came across an opportunity to buy a truck in Ohio for the business because he needed something bigger. He and his son takes the $30,000 cash, flies out to Ohio. When they get there, they realize that the truck is too big for their needs. So they decide to leave it there, head back to the airport. To get to the airport, the TSA agent asked him about the money. What's in the bag? He said, I got just over $30,000. And he says, as the supervisor told that agent, hey, he's free to travel, let him go. So he continues to the terminal, has his seat, and he says, DEA agents walk up to him and say, hey man, can we talk to you for a moment? At this point, they seize his money and refuses to give it back to him. They seized it under the code of civil forfeiture. This is a law where they can take your money, they can take your assets, they can take anything from you, any property from you, without probable cause. All they got to do is just feel like they can just say, well, we thought it was being used for illegal activity, and they can just take your stuff. This civil forfeiture law should have never gone into law in the first place. It's illegal, it's unconstitutional, it shouldn't even exist. It exists for the sole purpose of shaking down innocent people, period. These laws, you got to be very careful when you rock with these laws, because it's always something else. They try to make it seem like, okay, we're doing this, we're seizing people's property because we suspect them of being involved in illegal activity. Now, when you hear about them doing this to a drug dealer or something like that, a known drug dealer or a gangster or something like that, you're going like, yeah, get him. But you don't understand that you've given them so much latitude that they can do the same thing to you without probable cause. You can be a person that's been working all your life, ain't never been in trouble with the law. They could actually come into your house and start taking stuff and saying, well, the reason why we took it is because we suspect you of doing something illegal. They don't have to have any proof. You don't have to have ever been committed of a crime, like in the case of Kermit. He's never been charged with a crime. He's never been charged with a crime. So you don't have to ever have been charged with a crime. They can take your stuff, and right now, there's nothing you can really do about it. But bring attention to it and go after your elected officials and tell them to change the laws and have them to fight for you. That's all you got right now. And that's cold-blooded, man, because you got a lot of these police officers are shaking people down on the highways. Imagine yourself driving down the street and you got let's say it ain't, let's say you just only have $1,000 in cash. While you driving down, the police can pull you over and seize that $1,000. Say, well, what's up with all this cash? And you thinking in your mind, man, this ain't no cash, this ain't nothing, it's just $1,000. No, what you doing with all this cash, boy? They could take your money under the guise of civil forfeiture, under the guise of, well, we suspect that this person got this money illegally. They ain't even got to prove it. They can take your money, then make you fight to get it back. Now, you stop somewhere in such and such Alabama. You live in Connecticut. You think you're going back? Because what they'll do, they'll try to make you come back and appear in court to get your money back. You know, coming through Mobile, Alabama, leaving Florida to go back to Connecticut. You think you're gonna drive back to Mobile, Alabama to get $1,000? Think you're gonna fly back to Mobile to get $1,000 or to have a hearing about your $1,000? So that's millions and millions and millions, probably billions of dollars that people have just said, you know what, I'm gonna leave it alone. Haven't even went back for it, because they'll shake you down. And this is happening all over this country. Some people become police officers just so they can shake people down. Just so they can. Some of these dudes, if you look at how they're living, some of these cops, these people in law enforcement, you look at how they're living compared to what their salary is. And that tells you that somebody should be going after them and for a civil forfeiture. Somebody should be taking their property, because I can guarantee you they can't explain how they got all that stuff that they have inside of their house. They can't afford, they can't prove, you know, how they purchased that vehicle or that home that they're living in. They can't afford it. At least not with their salary. This cold-blooded man, man, I feel for dude. This dude did it the right way, man. He did it the right way. He did everything that was asked him, everything that's asked of a productive citizen. He did it. He worked. He didn't beg. He worked. He not only rebuilt his house, he rebuilt his community. He helped other people rebuild their community. He serves in the church. So he does volunteer work. He did it the right way. The man has worked several jobs. Right now, he's working a shoe shine job. So he's done manual labor pretty much his whole life. He did it the right way in terms of doing it legally. He did it the right way. And this is how he's repaid. This is the thanks he gets. This is kind of stuff that makes people grab one of them things and go crazy. Just start airing it out. This type of stuff that make people snap like that. That's cold-blooded, man. They need to get that man his money back. To everybody that was involved, including the judge who won't release his money, who won't sign the order to release that man money. Every single one of y'all. DEA agents included. TSA agents included. Your mama should be embarrassed and your daddy should have pulled out. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?
Yeah.